Hello, how are you? Yeah, that's great to hear. No, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well too, myself. Um, Mostly just keeping busy doing some creative stuff. As you can tell, I'm doing some projects, and I was hoping you can help me with one of them. Obviously, that's why you're here. I thought it might have been a tall order asking someone to help me with a weird project like this, but I appreciate the fact that you're willing to help me. So, here's the basic rundown of it all. I have been writing fiction since I was 12, maybe, and I've always written long form fiction. I don't like short stories or poems or anything. So I usually write novels that I don't really share with anyone. Gonna be honest there. They're not good, but I enjoy it. It's true. But I really, I've been doing that for a long time, and I really care about character development sort of above all else. And, sort of thought it would be fun to interview some people, ask them about themselves, and make them characters, essentially, because a lot of the time it's hard to make well-rounded characters. One, because they get lost in the plot or the world building, and two, because, two, because people don't pay attention to people often, and don't stop to do things like read their dialogue out loud to see how silly it might sound. Strong feelings about some bad fiction, which I really enjoy reading, don't get me wrong, just sort of for fun. My fiction is bad too. I'm not just being mean. I'm not just being hypocritical. But either they don't pay attention to people, their character development gets lost in the world building or the plotting, or there's the fact that writing real people can often sound really silly and quirky. So, like, if you ask someone about something that matters to them, it might sound fake or made up or odd. But in this case, I'm actually pulling from real people. So, it can't be like that's just a quirk, of them that you were doing so you can make a super quirky, cool character. You were trying to make a really cool, quirky girl or something like that, You were trying to make this boy, you don't know how to write a boy because you're a girl, and you were just trying to make them silly, or whatever. I don't know, I'm trying to think if someone asked me something about myself that's obvious or that someone else would answer, they would say probably, she consumes too much sugar and spends most of her time reading bad YA and playing Breath of the Wild, actually. And then it sounds like, you're trying to make such a quirky girl, she just eats sugar. And it's like, no, actually, that's a problem. It's very bad for my health. It's just me and it's bad. But, and, I'm not trying to be a cute gamer girl. That's, the only reason I bought a Switch. That's literally it. It's, these are just things that are just, you're actually a weird person. So I actually want to include those things. I want to have those things. Oh, yeah. So that's a great question. And the answer is I don't know. I will come up with a plot as I go. I like character-driven plots, and that is my excuse right now for not having a plot or really a genre. I may write in a general fiction sort of new adult sort of thing. I may write in a fantasy sort of thing, because I really do like writing fantasy and I've been trying to get back into it. And I may write in, I've thought about trying my hand at sci-fi because I do like sci-fi, but I've never tried writing it. So yeah, if you have any thoughts or anything, let me know. I also have a little notebook so I can take notes if we think of any ideas, which I could take on my computer, but I do like handwriting ideas. You type your book. You don't keep your damn book in notebooks. If you've ever had to type up an entire notebook filled with your own terrible handwriting, don't type it up. But yeah, okay, so I have two character templates. I have a long character template and a short one. The short one is about a page and a half long, and the long one is about 6 pages long. So I was thinking we could go through the short one, and then look through the long one, if we have some extra time, if you feel like it. It treads some of the same ground, obviously asking their name, etc. And you could, you know what, if you want to make up some stuff about yourself that feels real, I guess I won't be offended. But also, you know, just because some things might be personal, but you might want to still answer, whatever it is. But also, if anything makes you uncomfortable, if you don't like a question, if you think it's stupid, if you think I'm missing any information because my questions are too limited, let me know. You don't have to say anything you don't want to. Now, if anything is sort of too ambiguous, then you can ask me, or if a question is weird or you can't think of any examples for yourself, and I can tell you my examples. The other thing is, even if I could describe it myself or answer it myself, I'm going to ask you, because I'm also not sure what person I'm going to write in. I'm writing in past tense. Books written in present tense, I'm over that. It feels like a fad. Over it. But I'm not sure what person I'll be writing in. So if I am writing in first person, I will not have a scene where you describe yourself in a mirror, but I do want to be able to know how you would feel from your point of view. Okay, so you ready to get started? Okay. Yes. So, yeah, also, I thought that the first person I interviewed could be my main character, so no pressure, and you know, that's how I would decide on what my genre would be, start working a plot from there. So no pressure, you're my main character, and everything revolves around you. So let's get going. Okay, are you ready? So can you give me your name? And your spelling of your name, so I just can double check that I had it right. Okay. And do you have any nicknames that you go by? Mm-hmm. And who calls you those nicknames? Okay. That's cute. How old are you? Awesome. And what is your birthday? Alright, it's coming up. Happy early birthday. What is your gender identity that you would like to have on here? You don't have to answer, or you can tell me, obviously, wherever you'd like. Sounds good. And would you like to answer your race, how you identify racially? Yeah, I mean, some people are comfortable with that, some people are less comfortable with that, and that's fine. Thank you. Alright, what's your height? And your body type? How would you describe your body type? Yeah, that's good. And your eye color? You got nice eyes. Yeah. How would you describe them though? I'm just gonna write them down as that, but lots of people have different feelings about their own eye color, so how would you describe it? And what about your hair color? I also can take my own notes, but it's also about how you see yourself. Yeah. Okay, now this one's gonna be a little bit harder and weirder. How would you describe your own hair? Yeah, like if I was describing my own hair, obviously I gave the hair color already, I would say it's sort of a medium dark brown. I would say that it tends towards being somewhat frizzy. It's curly, especially if taken care of, about just past shoulder length. Very bad, misbehaves, does not work no matter how much stuff I put, so on like that. So if you want to say my hair is, like someone could say my hair is straight and very thin, it doesn't hold curl very well, whatever it is. Layers? Yeah, no, that's a great detail to have. is awesome detail. Yeah, thank you. How would you describe your own complexion as well? Your complexion and your skin type, you know? How would you describe your skin? I would describe my skin as paper, sandpaper-like, and fairly light-skinned, you know? Okay. Great. And is there anything else about your basic appearance that you would want me to note? Some people note their eyebrows a bit more. If you want to get into your style of clothing, we can right now. Otherwise, I think that is on the other sheet if you would like to look at that later if we have some time. Okay, so just tell me a little bit about. Okay, yeah. No, it's this one's actually really important because what does someone pull out from themselves? You know, like I don't know if you had really expressive eyebrows. I think I said eyebrows already. Or if you see, you know, that your smile is crooked, whatever. And you in the sun. No, that's a good thing to know too. Like if we have a fantasy story where you're journeying, there is a difference between someone who tans and someone who burns. You know. I think that fantasy would be fun. If you have any thoughts about just some superpowers or something, you know, superpowers, that makes it sound much more superhero than fantasy. If you have thoughts on magic or elements you identify with, or something that you find interesting, or some kind of power you thought would be cool, or some spirits you would like to be associated with, I don't know. The sky is the limit because it's fiction. I'm literally making it up. Okay. And what's your relationship status? How would you describe your partner if you have one? Alright. Do you have kids? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A question on the thing. The other one does get more into things like siblings, family, and everything. I actually would really rather go into that, but this also asks just other important relationships. So if there's anyone in particular you want to note, you can. Like for me, this seems so shallow. Like I have a brother who's very important to me that, of course, I have to mention. I don't know. Do you have anyone else you want to mention? Mom, grandma, great aunt, whatever. Okay. Just whatever you want to tell me about them. Yeah, I mean, no, this is important because, you know, I have a character. What happens at the beginning of the story? Do they set out from their home? And then if they do, if you do I just pretend that you didn't have a family? No, that's silly. You do. I'm writing about a person. Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. That's sweet. Oh, and dog. Dog is definitely a family member you have to mention. Oh, you have to show me pictures later. I want to see your dog. Okay. Now, this is labeled past. It's kind of a weird label for this because the first question is a voice. How would you describe your voice? Yeah, no, I understand if you're not really sure. Do you sing? If you sing, do you know if you sort of fall into more soprano or sort of more alto or, you know, tenor, baritone, bassy, whatever you happen to be your singing range, or do you feel like you have a particular accent you would like to note? People have commented on my accent before, and I just obviously don't think of myself as having an accent. Obviously I do, because everyone does, but, you know, is that something you would note about yourself if you know, how your accent sounds or anything? Hmm? Awesome. Where were you born? I didn't know that. Oops. That's interesting. Now, again, some questions that are weird or touchier depending on the person. Some people are more open about talking about this, and some people are less. How would you describe your childhood social class? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. And what about currently, your social class? It's such a vague term and sort of a crappy way to put it. What is your occupation? Okay, yeah. Do you want to make any more notes about your work or work environment, work duties, anything? Okay, and again, these questions end up fairly vague often. So this is the section titled Self. And it says View of Self. Yeah, okay, yeah, we can skip that because what? What does that mean? A view of myself is... I don't know. Do you have anything to add? Just, you could say how you would identify yourself if someone said to you. I don't know, is this a stupid job interview question? Tell me more about yourself. Okay, let me just say some of these things, yeah. As you say that, I feel like I have some thoughts. I do think I'm probably going to go with fantasy. If you were going to like fight with a fantasy weapon or something, what would it be? Yeah, no, whenever I've played, like, I used to play MapleStory a lot. You know, I was always a very, like, tanky warrior class kind of person. Like, never mind on that magic or arrows shit. I'm running at you with my halberd. You know, just swing my sword endlessly. Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Bows and arrows are pretty cool too, though. Okay, and let me add that actually to your view of self. I feel like that's an important question. Oops. I just deleted half the thing. Okay. Trying to remember how you put some of the things. Sorry. Dope. Okay. What would you consider to be your redeeming qualities, or some of them? my degree, yeah. I just have to say, I'm really glad that you have all of these senses of redeeming qualities by yourself. No, that's pretty great. All right. And negative qualities, you know, you don't have to go into tons of detail. I don't want you to just pass yourself, but what would you think of as your own personal negative qualities? Are you just so clumsy that you just like fall all over the place so that people can catch you? My negative qualities are that I'm just, is that just like when I move to a new school, all the boys fall in love with me? You know, if you're filling it out for like any YA book, let's be real. Like all of them. I'm so plain boring. Oh. You know, one of the things I've always loved in Twilight is, you know, Bella's. I don't know if you've read Twilight. I have reread Twilight somewhat recently. You know, it was a big thing when I was a teen. You know, Bella has her mirror description of herself where she goes, oh, you know, with my dark hair and my too pale skin, I don't look like someone who's from Phoenix and no one will ever accept me because I'm just so ugly and weird. Or like, after, which if you've read that, I'm sorry, and if you haven't, don't. It's actually, it was a One Direction fanfiction. All you need to know. One Direction fanfiction turned real novel. The main character says, blue eyes too big for her face. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, it's my physical flaw is that my eyes are too round and too blue and too pretty. It's like, what the hell? So, actual negative traits, I don't want to do that because that's just a stupid thing that people do in fiction. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. Like, I try not to be in positions where I have to be competing with someone because I just get so competitive. It's like such a bad feeling and it just hurts relationships all over the place. Yeah, no, I understand completely. Single player games. What about strengths, which is sort of different from redeeming qualities? Redeeming qualities are like, I'm nice and empathetic, and strengths are, you know, maybe more like, I'm athletic. Someone? But you're, okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. What about weaknesses? Similar thing, you know? Not athletic, you know? Whatever. I understand. Really? No, I mean that's fine. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you at all. I'm taking joy in learning more about you now. It's Now, stress management. What do you do for stress management, if anything, you know? people hear that, like, if you say, what do you do for stress management? A lot of people are like, I don't. I just deal with it. But do you have anything in particular that you do? Do you go for jogs? Do you do stuff? I don't know. Sleep? Nap? Nap is my thing. What about goals? What are some of your goals? Let's see if we can translate some of those goals into some cool fantasy plot stuff. You don't have to give me anything cool or worry about it. I'm writing a story. It's gonna be. We're just gonna work. We're gonna work with what we have. What about fears? You don't have to do anything too personal. I understand. This is a place where people can sound really quirky. My mom is terrified of can tops. Like you know, you have soup, canned soup or something. Once you remove the top, she goes into full panic mode. She's so afraid of people getting cut on can tops specifically, you know? And if you made that a thing where, you know, people are cooking and someone has a can top and the person is like really freaked out, that sounds crazy. But no, like, that's just something about my mom that she just cannot handle. She just does not like. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either. Okay. Okay. Again, don't have to answer. Religion? And, you know, if you want to give me something on your religious background, if things have changed, that's also fine too. Yeah, no. I have no judgment on someone's religion or anything. It's an interest of mine, and I'm definitely, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable no matter what you're saying. What about political stance? Yeah, I know that can be also very contentious. Okay. Absolutely no judgment here. Awesome. What about hobbies? That sounds fun. You'll have to try that sometime. Okay, that's the end of the short one, which did take a minute, but if you'd like, we can look at the long one. I can maybe skim up and down and you can tell me just some of them. Some of them I have a couple questions I think are limited answer or binary questions or something. If you're gonna look at some of them. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, some of these are more interesting. They might be quick to just like through. Okay, here's some of the like sort of more binary ones. Would you consider yourself to be more of an optimist or a pessimist? I'll leave it blank if you just think it's too black and white for you. But if you feel like you tend in one way or the other, that's fine. Oh, there's an option for middle here. I made this template years ago. So, okay. What about introverts or extroverts? Lots of people feel like they fall somewhere in the middle. Most people do, but some people really identify pretty strongly with being introverted or extroverted. Are you sort of a daredevil or more cautious? That's actually really important if we're writing a fantasy story. Yeah. Logical or emotional? That's a loaded one, huh? I mean, everyone's emotional, but, you know, how do you feel yourself? Like, I'm a pretty emotional person, but I can be totally logical. I just feel really strongly, like feel emotion very strongly, yeah. Do you consider yourself to be disorderly and messy or methodical and neat? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you prefer working and being busy or just relaxing and having nothing happening? Also important for a story that may be about a journey or something. Are you more of a confident person or sort of unsure of yourself? And are you an animal lover? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned dog. Yeah. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean you love all animals or whatever, but you know. I think the question's actually kind of weird now I think about it, because it's like, animal lover, do you mean, do you despise animals? You know, does no mean I despise animals, or does no mean no, I don't have 6 cats, or no, I'm not a vegetarian or something? I don't know. Okay, so you want to look through some more of this? Let's do it. So we're back at the name, which we already have. Is there a reason behind your name that you'd like to share? Okay, and those nicknames, do you want to give any more background, or do you think we covered it? You did tell me who gave you the nicknames and stuff. Okay, yeah, now we can move on from there. Have your birthday. This asks for blood type. I don't think we need that, but you know what? If you want to give it to me, you can. Yeah, sure. We can do like, you know, blood type. I don't know what it is. Like horoscopes sort of things, personality analyses. You know, type A, whatever. Have your age. How old do you think you appear? That's important too. I say that as a person who looks like a baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have your height, body build. How do you describe the shape of your face? And you can give me an answer yourself, or I have a list to choose from, which includes oval, circle, triangle, heart, square, rectangle, oblong, diamond, inverted triangle, or other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can make your best guess, or if you already know about face shapes and things, you might just already know. Mm-hmm. We have your eye color, glasses or contacts. Mm-hmm. Skin tone. Do you have any distinguishing marks you want to note that you didn't note in the complexion part? Okay. Just it's. Mm-hmm. This is another weird question, I feel. That is predominant features. Yeah, that's silly. Hairstyle we talked about, voice we talked about, accent we talked about briefly. This has overall attractiveness. What a shitty question. Do you have any physical disabilities that you'd like to talk about? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Now, what's your usual fashion of dress? How would you normally dress on just any given day? Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, you can see, yeah. So on a day, when you're going out, and you're wearing, like outside, just to store something. But if you're mostly just like staying in the house or walking the dog around the neighborhood or whatever, yeah. Formal wear? Like if you were going to a gala or a ball. Do you have any jewelry or accessories that are important to you? Something that could become a magical object or something. Okay, yeah, no, that's nice. So I covered things like good personality traits, bad personality traits. Mood you're most often in. I don't know how to answer that. That obviously really depends. But if you have something you can answer, you can. I've been told the mood I'm most often in is surly. Your sense of humor. How would you describe your sense of humor? Okay. Greatest joy in life? Oh. We covered fears. What's something that would throw your life into turmoil? Wow, this is really getting my plot for me. You don't have to answer that. Like, that's just... Okay. Yeah, right. Like, that's not something that everyone has been experiencing lately. Their lives thrown into turmoil. When are you most at ease? Like, the calmest? And the most ill at ease? And what's something that really just pisses you off? When are you sure the most sad? Mm-hmm. Do you have any kind of life philosophy? Yeah. I'll just try to skip some of these because I don't want to keep you forever. Any embarrassing past stuff you want to mention? Okay. Past pets, religion class. So you talked about your parents and siblings and stuff already. You want to talk about best friends? Mm-hmm. Are you the very like person who sort of wears your heart on your sleeve? Yeah. Favorite color? That's a nice color. Music? Maybe you can share some songs with me. I'd be interested in checking it out. Okay. Do you play any musical instruments? What about smoking? Do you smoke cigarettes or weed, I guess? Drinking? Sometimes. You didn't say anything else about your drinking habits. You don't have to. Now I feel like I'm really grilling you. You don't have to say anything about your drinking habits by any means. Or what drinks do you like? You know, that's a better question maybe. Like, are you a beer person? If you drink sometimes, like when you're with friends and ordering something, would you order a beer or would you order a margarita? Are you the kind of person like me who just drinks Mike's Hard Lemonade like they're a fucking 17-year-old? Or are you like a person who just like downs IPAs all the time? Okay. Any other drugs you want to mention? That's the question. I'm not just prying. I mean, I am prying. That's literally what the whole thing is. Anything else you want to mention drug-wise, though? Some people are more or less comfortable with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other... Well, this says other bad habits, but do you have any bad habits you want to talk about? I'm not just gonna, like, call you out and be like, moderate drinking is a bad habit or something. Like, that's not very nice. Huh? Alright. What languages do you speak? I mean, you don't have to speak many. You don't have to speak any. Or you can define it however you'd like. If you took Spanish through high school but you don't feel very good but you want to say speak Spanish, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Nervous tics. Yeah, I get that. I blink a lot. It's no problem. It looks really weird. Health problems, other health problems that we didn't mention. I mean, if you want to talk about any mental health problems that matter to you, that you think are something that's about you, a part of you, and that you don't want me to just erase, you know? Yeah. This is definitely something I'm not judging you on, please. Yeah. We went over these. Optimist, pessimist, introvert, extrovert, those things. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to tell me about? How about this? I will give you I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 11, unless I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 options of scenarios, and you can tell me about one of them. Or two if you care in particular, but you don't have to tell me about all of them by any means. First day of school, last day of school, average day of school / work, average day at home, average birthday, average Christmas, first partner, first job, what you think of while driving, if you drive, an example of a fight with your parents. That's a weird one, but it's a whatever. Or your internet habits. Like I said, all optional, and I'll just let you go with. Okay, yeah, why don't you tell me about that? Okay, I'm probably going to type a lot, but I'm going to try to capture as you talk, don't worry, yeah. Oh, no, keep going, it's fine. you know, great story that I can definitely, it definitely tells me some stuff about you, and I appreciate it. Yeah, so I think we're looking at a fantasy story, maybe something that's very journey oriented, you know, sort of a cliche. Maybe we'll have some action, some fighting if I decide to do that. I'm not very good at fight scenes, so that might be a fun thing to try my hands at. What do you think? Maybe? Maybe I can talk to you some more at some point if you want to provide any more information or anything. Maybe I can show you something I write. I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you for giving me this information. It's going to be really helpful for my story, and I can't wait to get started. I'm definitely going to talk to some other people. I'll probably just do the short one with them and have them be secondary characters and things like that. Maybe I'll have another secondary main character or something where I do a little bit more. But until then, I'm just going to start working on ideas and stuff off of what I got from you. Alright, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alright, thank you.